What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. We got a special one for you. As you guys seen here, we played the Driftless 18 Open, I think is what they're calling it, up in Rochester, a Cale Laviska designed course. Beautiful course. There's a couple holes out there that are a little bit tricky and maybe a little fluky. Overall, it's a great course. It's a bomber course and I don't bomb, so we're definitely going to be going against some bombers today that just throw way further than I can throw, unfortunately. Forgot to film an intro for this video, so that's why I'm doing it now. If you guys are new here, hit that subscribe button, like this video. We do a lot of videos just like this on the amateur side of things of disc golf. So if you guys like that stuff, subscribe. And yeah, let's get right into the video. We got lots of tournament footage for these two rounds. So shout out to my girlfriend, Ashley. And yeah, let's get into it. As you guys seen, it was a beautiful morning. The morning before the tournament, I was back home and it was absolutely gorgeous. So had to throw that in the video. But I know you guys still haven't subscribed yet, so subscribe. Let's get after it. Alrighty guys, here we go. We're starting on hole 6, a pretty easy hyzer shot here. We're throwing white Raptor, and honestly, it's starting to be a straight Raptor. As you guys may know, we got way too many straight Raptors in the bag, so I thought it was out of bounds in this little creek out of my hands, but we got this 45 footer for birdie. Honestly, we kind of give it a little bit to start. I was like, let's get after it. So we take a par there. Here's a really good hole. Hole 7, par 4. Mando through this tree gap here, and we land in a pretty good spot off the tee. We just have a little bit a zone approach shot here, super smooth, and we just absolutely pin it, so don't even really have to putt there. Made it really nice. Here is hole 8. It's a really easy 300-foot uphill shot. I'm throwing a buzz and I absolutely get hold of it, and I'm not a big fan of like throwing uphill, but we do a decent job here. And here we have probably 25 footer. Here's the first real putt of the day, and yeah, we don't even get it as high as the base here. So I'm gonna show you guys something here. You can watch my back leg. I'm not even getting really any push off. I'm like making my leg straight, and I barely even got it above. So this is something we're gonna do. We're gonna kind of analyze kind of our missed shots. So definitely something we're going to be working on here. We have hole 9, one of the most prettiest shots you'll ever throw. Downhill, 500 foot, par 3, and for some reason I try to hyzer flip it. This is something I really want to start working on, is throwing downhill. I need to throw it with some flex angle to get that extra 15 to 25 feet out of the disc instead of just trying to hyzer flip it and let it glide. We end up taking a par there. Nothing really hurts. Here is hole 10, and I just throw it into the ground, and this hole is playing so far uphill. It's a little bit wet out, and you really want to get up the hill, at least to have a look for birdie. And here I just throw Zeus uphill, and I throw it like 200 feet. It's so far uphill, and we got this approach shot here, not even really a bit, just kind of go ahead and tap that guy in for par. Here we have hole 11, really pretty shot. It's only about 300 and maybe 10 feet, give or take. Kind of skip over here to the left. Like I said, the grass is a little bit wet, but here's really the second biggest putt of the day. I know we gotta at least give it a bid. You can see I'm taking my time here. I know I need to give it some height and just give it a bid. And we just do not even,
that makes sense.
It's not even close to going in. I don't know what's going on with the tournament putt, but something we have to work on. Here's hole 12, and yeah, so pretty. Put it really close. We're gonna watch it again. I mean, this is why you throw the Benny, fellas. It's a stable Luna. Everything you guys seen, it's Lone Star, unfortunately, but it just puts it right next to the basket and makes it so nice. Hole 12 is 210 feet, and Gannon Burr is definitely just going to jump putt this hole. It's so far downhill. It's insane. As you guys seen, I barely threw that zone shot, and we end up with a 25, 30 footer here. Here's a really another testament shot. And you know, I gave it the height, and that's really all I can kind of take away from that putt there. Here we have the next hole, another par 4, and this is one you really just want to throw in a hyzer shot into the like fairway there, and we just throw it into the rough. I throw my flippiest disc on hyzer, and it just goes way down to the left there. And we end up having this little run shot here, really pretty crystal flex zone shot there. And here we have a next hole, another bomber downhill shot, probably 400 feet, and I just kind of throw it on a little bit of a hyzer flip angle again, and I really thought this one was super short. It definitely was, barely threw it. So we have this jump putt from C2 across the creek, really just kind of a layup there, and we take another par. And that leaves us with hole 16 here. We are 2 down, and we really need to start getting something going. Not looking at scores or anything, but I know scores are going to be hot. It's beautiful, no wind, and I've missed 3 or 4 putts that should have dropped. But we have this C2 putt here. I don't know, call it 42 feet and a half, uphill, really hard. But I decided to go with the straddle putt. My goodness, so beautiful. We're gonna run it back here and see. I commit to it, give it the height, and just put it right corner pocket there. Beautiful birdie, really hard hole to get. It plays uphill. Here we have hole 17, another really picturesque, throwing over a quarry, and we just absolutely pin it. As you guys see in the replay here, it's a beautiful shot. Tap in that putt there. Here we have hole 18, another birdieable par 4. I'm throwing Buzz Annie off the tee, and I just put it off to the right. This run up for me is really weird, and I really just need to throw forehand off the tee and kind of get up where that clump of trees are, where I'm throwing this zone approach shot here, and we put it in a decent spot. I just need to pitch up and holy sit down. It's a little bit downhill, but we decided to put it, 30 feet long, and it's an uphill straddle putt. Really hard putt. I mean, you could spend 5 years putting on this basket if you really wanted to. And bang! Ooh, man, did that putt feel good. Let's watch it again. Yeah, that putt felt amazing. You can see a little fist bump there. So that was for par. We are 4 down. This is hole 1, beautiful hole 1. It's like a pro tour, par 4, really hard, 830 feet, par 4. You really just want to flip something up and let it coast over there to the left. It's a dog leg to the right, and I'm just going to pitch up and take the easy par. I'm throwing my PD2 here, signed by Gannon, and yeah, just throw that guy about 280 feet, plays a little bit uphill, and then we got this putt here, and yeah, I would say throughout the round so far, I've been feeling pretty decent. Just the putt's been feeling really weird, and we really got to figure it out. But as of recent, we've been hitting a couple big putts here. So here we have hole 2. This is one of the fluky ones on the course. It's really weird, needs to be trimmed up, but I just throw it over here to the right side, and really just hoping not for my jump putt to roll away, but we have a little tap in there, and we'll take a par. And here we have hole 3, 970 foot par 4 bomber hole. Biggest tee pad I've ever played on, and decide to hyzer flip a max distance shot again. We end up over here on the left hand side, and we have this big approach shot. Probably throw it 370 into this open field, and kind of just have this zone forehand approach shot, and comes out beautiful. Hyzer's right in and actually bases it, so we go ahead, tap that guy in there. And here's hole 4, really hard hole, and it's a really good hole actually though. These trees have actually grown up way big on the right hand side, and this is just my play for par. It's 400 feet, and I can throw my forehand maybe 325, so we got this jump putt here, and it's really just a layup, soft bid, whatever you want to call it. We go ahead and tap that guy in there, and here we have the second fluky hole on the entire course. It's Mando through these trees, and it is just really fluky. It's a tight gap, and I don't know. You see some get through, and you see some not get through, and I'm just stuck with this super weird approach shot. I got this weird dead tree that's still attached, and I pitch out here, and as of right now, I am 4 down. Things are feeling amazing, and this is really just going to be the decider if I'm feeling like I had a good round or a bad round. So, to save the par, and I absolutely hate it as soon as it leaves my hands, and we go ahead and tap in a bogey for a -3 954 rated round 1. Alright guys, round 1 is over with. We were 4 down at one point going into the last hole and took a really bad bogey. I guess it wasn't really bad, just a bad hole hit early, as you guys seen, and I don't know, it's whatever. I really was hoping to go bogey free. Game's feeling all right. As you guys see, we missed quite a few putts. We got some subway. But yeah, we are 3 strokes back of the lead, so we got some work to do if we want to take it down. You gotta stay tuned. All right, guys, so we are starting on hole 7, the 570-foot par 4, and it's not the way you'd like to start round 2, especially after we birdied it in round 1, but we're just going to have this pitch up here to save the par, and we do put it close, but that's really not the way you want to start off round 2. But we're on to the next hole here, and yeah, we get a super lucky kick, kicks right back out into the open, and go ahead and pitch that guy up for another par. Let's see if we can change it this time, put some flex on it. Nope. We go ahead and try to hyzer flip it again, but it does glide pretty far down there. A wise guy once told me destroyers go far, and they definitely do. We go ahead and pitch that guy up for par. Here we have hole 10. Let's see if we can get some height on it for round 2, and we do not get any height on it again. Maybe get 5, 10, 15 feet further, but I definitely rip into this one a little bit more. The ground's not as wet, so I really trust my footing, and we honestly do have a putt from C2, I don't know, maybe call it 40, 45 feet. It was uphill, have to put some ante on it because this tree is right in front of me. And bang, let's roll that replay here. Didn't have to put too much ante on, I just kind of put it out there flat, and that was just a huge momentum putt going into hole 11 when I missed one of those, I don't know, 25 footer on last time, and this time doesn't get as big of a skip, and I don't know, call it maybe 16 feet away from the basket, and here we go. We are 2 holes, 2 birdies. Here we have hole 12, and I'm telling you guys, it's a Benny shot. There was a slight headwind, and oh, it was such a pretty flight to see. Here we have a headwind putt. This is definitely a very nervy putt for me here. As you can tell, not very committed, but we make do. Here we have hole 13, the jump putt hole that Gannon Burr would jump putt, and leave it a little bit shorter this time, but I know I want to give this one a good bid. Just keep the momentum rolling. 4 birdies in a row would be great. Just don't commit to the putt. Here we have hole 14, and I just decide to throw it into the hillside, not throw a spike hyzer. Again, throwing a scorch approach, and I actually get it turned over, but it's just so far away from the basket, I'm not going to be able to get it there. So just a little jump putt approach there, and we go ahead and tap in a par on that hole, and here we have a huge downhill shot again, and the wind honestly lifted this one, and it wanted to go to the basket, and we are very lucky to stay in bounds. I mean, another inch and it slides right into the creek, but we go ahead and just jump putt that up there, and go ahead and tap in a pretty easy par. Here we have hole 16, another hole I want to get, and it's a lot more windy, throwing the same disc, and the wind has just held all of our disc over there. All of us landed 60, 65 feet away from the basket, and we actually end up banging that putt, one of the best putts I've ever had in a tournament. And if I'm being honest, a big secret between me and you guys is I was laying it up. So we're stealing a birdie from myself, I guess, if you want to call it that. And hey, we get another birdie on hole 17. And here's hole 18. Again, throw it right into the trees, and it's definitely forehand. I'm never going to throw a backhand again off of that tee. And here's a really tricky shot. I wanted the birdie, and we're going for the birdie. So I'm getting super aggressive. I'm throwing PD2 very low, and I just barely keep it to the left and hits some trees, and I needed to hyzer out just a little bit sooner, but we have this jump putt. Super picturesque tap-in birdie. Hole 18 is such a sick finishing hole, and we really commit to that putt there. And at this point, I know I need to start birdieing some holes. I know I'm at least in it, and I need to make some noise. I asked my caddy on hole 18 on the approach shot if I needed to get aggressive, and she told me I need to start getting aggressive and getting some birdies, so that's what we're trying to do here. And here's the Silas kid. I think he's 15 years old, and let me tell you guys, he rips. Before hole 18, he was 6 down through 9 holes, and he was absolutely shredding, but here's a crucial shot here. So I'm going for the green. It's a super tricky uphill to the right shot, and my card mates thought it was good, and I know it was, and I didn't turn my scorch enough. Like I said, it plays uphill and really tricky shot, but we're in the woods now and really not wanting to take a bogey, and we just kind of fluff it, hit some stuff on the way out, and can't really see it in this video here, but there's a tree dangling down, so I kind of have to go straight at the basket if I want to at least give it a shot for birdie. I can't kind of give it my floaty putt that I normally do from C2, so kind of have to stab at, and kind of goes to 10 feet, and it's whatever. We take a bogey. Here we have hole 2, another fluky hole that I'm not the biggest fan of, but we actually get it through there, throw a flippy zone, and honestly we have a putt, so I'm calling it 33 feet and a half, and probably outside, and I could jump putt it, but I love standstilling these putts. And at this point I know I need birdies and can't take any more pars or bogeys, so kind of just running everything, and man, I thought that one was in out of my hand, honestly. And we have this comebacker here, slightly uphill. And yeah, honestly guys, I think this might be one of the most worst spit outs I've ever had. You guys can see the chains literally are pushing it out of the hole. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. That one hurt a lot. As you can see, I'm replaying it 1,000 times, and you can literally see the chains wanting to push it back out of the basket, which it's whatever. At this point I knew I was kind of out of it, especially after going bogey. It's whatever. You live and you learn, and we actually put some angle on this one and probably throw it 420 feet maybe, I'm gonna call it, and we decided to throw the approach 100 feet into the ground. But we have another simple approach shot here, just a zone flick, and we just go ahead and base that and take a decent par, I guess you can say. Alright guys, I'm going to pick you guys back up here because this is where things start to get really interesting. We have 3 holes left. Honestly, they're all pretty birdieable holes for me that, you know, I feel pretty confident in birdieing. And so I look at scores for the first time throughout the entire round, and the kid who I showed on hole 1, Silas, ended up kind of having a couple blow up holes, and I think he was like +5 or 6 in the last like 3 or 4 holes, and he had to take a lost disc penalty and lots of weird things happening, but he kind of took himself out of the tournament, and I thought he was the one leading. I mean, he was 6 down through like the first like 8 or 9 holes, so he was absolutely shredding, and he was the one kind of I thought I was supposed to be chasing, but I actually was 2 strokes back of the lead still, and it was a guy in my card, Evan, who shot the hot round 1, and because I knew I was kind of playing very similar to him, and I guess I just kind of forgot, you know, I took my 2 bogeys. He ended up birdieing hole 2 himself, so there's kind of a 3-stroke swing there. And my caddy told me that on hole 1, all 3 of us were actually tied for the lead. I knew I had to get aggressive on hole 1 because they were throwing bomber shots. I think Evan ended up parring hole 1, and Silas ended up taking a bogey like myself. So going into hole 2, me and Evan were actually tied. He ended up taking the big hyzer route, and obviously went straight down the middle, and you guys seeing what happened on hole 2. I'll roll the clip again just so I can watch it again while I'm editing this video. That spit out was very frustrating. I honestly kind of threw it out the window right away in the moment. I knew I had to kind of keep focus and just kind of keep battling, as I had 4 holes left at that point. So yeah, we're actually tied on hole 2, and then there's a 2-stroke swing. He took a birdie, I took a bogey. So 2 strokes back going into hole 3, and then we both take a par on hole 3, and then we're going into hole 4. And at this point, I told my caddy Ashley, my girlfriend, that I want to look at scores. I feel hole 4 is a big shot hole. I feel very confident in at least just taking a par if I want to throw a forehand shot, but I know if I do want to try and birdie it, I can throw a backhand shot and really try and get aggressive. Knowing that I'm 2 strokes back, I know I have to get aggressive, and we end up throwing this shot here with my Zeus. Alright, so I hope you guys appreciated that update there. A little bit of a length there, just wanted to make sure I explained everything, and here's the shot. Beautiful shot. I love throwing the Zeus, and I just absolutely put a move on it, and we end up having this 25-30 footer for birdie. And we hit cage. I really thought I made it. A big pressure putt, and I definitely felt the pressure, and I'm definitely thankful to be able to been in that situation, but I still know we have 2 holes left, and 2 holes I know I can definitely birdie. But here's fluky hole number 2, and I just kind of soft the hyzer a little bit. Don't put any anhyzer on it because I'm scared of the left side, and I just hit a branch, kick to the right, and end up in a really weird spot and end up taking a par. And he actually ended up birdieing that last hole, so he's got 3 strokes going into one of the easier holes on the course, and I fluff it. I leave it very short. I put it on a bunch of hyzer, and you can tell I just hate it right out of my hand. I don't even want to watch it because I know how short it's going to be, and it ends up being, I don't know, 32 feet short, and I know this is a putt that needs to fall. He's putting for birdie from just slightly shorter, and we do that. Alright, so we end up taking a par on that last hole there, and you guys are not going to believe it, but we ended up losing by 1 stroke. But yeah, he actually ended up, I think, 3 or 4 putting, I believe. I mean, he put it to 25 feet, and yeah, I don't know. Just made it hurt a lot more seeing him do that, and then I lose by 1 stroke. So I'll throw the scorecard up here. As you can see, we had a higher rating. I think it was like 962, I believe. So I don't know. We started off slow, picked it back up in the middle of the round, and then kind of got aggressive on hole 1, got a really bad spit out on hole 2, which losing by 1 now makes me feel even more amazing, and then just not being able to connect on one of the 2 putts there at the end, hole 4 and hole 6. So lots of things to ponder on, lots of things to improve on, and just overall a really weird tournament. I mean, the game is feeling really good at times and really bad at times, and I think that's just 950 golf for you, unfortunately. I don't know. We've been stuck here for quite a while, and I'm just really waiting for the time where we can either tap in every single drive or start making a lot more putts in the tournament. Yeah, I'm going to edit this video. I'm going to do some practice putting tonight because obviously we need it. Yeah, you guys are going to have to stay tuned for the next video. I think we're going to play the Wildcat Open, which is this Saturday, and hopefully we'll have a vlog out for that one. I don't know if we're going to get too much tournament footage, if I can find a caddy, but we'll figure it out. But I do want to thank you guys so much. If you guys are still here listening, it means the absolute world to me. If you guys aren't subscribed, definitely got to subscribe. We're going to be doing a couple more vlogs to finish out the year, and then yeah, we're going to have to figure out some more videos to throw up for you guys. So let me know what you guys thought of this video, and even just more video ideas in the comment section down below. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. We got lots to work on. We got another tournament this Saturday, so stay tuned. Be nice to yourself.